So once again, I have Ismael with me. I hope everybody's happy about that. And also Evgeny from Nodes.Guru is coming back for round two. And um, yeah, just like last week, we're going to be talking a bit about the delegations program that they are starting, and also a lot of other things that come to our minds. It's going to be an unstructured conversation. And as always, you can leave your questions or any comments that you may have or things that you would want us to discuss in the dedicated community call text channel, which is under the community tab um, in the Discord server. So let's get started. Ismail, do you wanna introduce our new wallet version that we released last week?
Yeah, definitely. So last week we saw the
Or
release of
actually this week? Sorry, it's not over yet. It's just Friday.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So last week we saw the release of version 1.0.6 of the wallet, and this zero point 0.5, I mean, and this week it's 1.0.6. There's been a few bug fixes, and for example, the stake supply changes have finally been sorted, and the missing rewards has been fixed. So I'm very happy about that. And next to this, I'd like to say also that Nym is hiring right now. We have a job page on the website. I'm going to drop a link in the chat for you. We're looking for a social media manager and developer relations, basically. So do check that out. I'll drop a link right now.
wait a second. Back to the wallet for a
Yeah,
minute. It was we were really glad to see people reporting bugs on our channels. Any sort of issues that may run into. Just please keep reporting them, and then we'll make sure that they get fixed because we're about to transition to a more frequent release schedule. As you can see, this version came pretty far or like pretty close to the previous one, and that's gonna be something that we'll be aiming to do in the future. So it is really important for us to see the bugs that you're facing or any issues that you're facing, and then we can promptly get rid of them.
yeah, exactly. Thank you for adding it, Sudo. You can just hit us up on Telegram, Discord, wherever. You know where to find us. And we're happy to just take your feedback and pass it on. So moving forward, we also have a sticker contest. I hope you've seen the announcement on either Discord or Telegram. We're very eager to get some more cool community stickers for people to share. To spread the word a little bit and to have some fun in the chats at the same time. So if you have some design experience, if you know some other Nimsters with design experience who really want to have a chance at winning some merch. We have three prizes, including some Nym tokens as a reward for the first prize. So yeah, we're very eager to see your submissions. The contest will be running until the 3rd of July, 1800 UTC. So yeah, looking forward to see some of your submissions.
Yeah, that still gives you plenty of time to come up with something cool, and
Exactly.
we're eager to see your designs.
Yeah, definitely. And moving on, I already told you guys last week we have a Reddit and we're actively moderating it right now. So I've definitely seen some people sending some comments, upvoting some things, and just generally just trying to post some links, which is nice. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it, and we want to see more of that. I've been giving out some random awards to people, so it might incentivize you, for some ad-free browsing on Reddit. Just take a look at our Reddit page and participate.
Yeah. So once again, we have all sorts of gold to give out to people. Gold is nice. You want to get gold. So that's your incentive basically. And also nice people like Ismail are hanging out there, which is also kind of a good thing for the most part. Sometimes it isn't, but for the most part it is. All right. So this week I also brought you a piece of news that is pretty interesting. So as it turns out, European telecommunications companies like Vodafone and Deutsche Telekom are planning to attach so-called super cookies to their customers, which basically means, well, probably everybody on this call understands what cookies are. Supposedly, on paper, they are responsible for some convenient features online as you visit websites. For example, they help websites remember the contents of your shopping cart and remember where you were on a website and all sorts of nice little convenient features like that. They allow for it, but in practice, they're basically a tool for surveillance, especially third-party cookies, which serve the sole purpose of harvesting your browsing data and tracking you online as much as possible. So super cookies are basically just that, but on the level of the network infrastructure by telecommunication companies. So basically, internet service providers, which is which is pretty dystopian. So it's not a cookie on your computer, which is stored there by a website or your browser, but it's your ISP itself. So it's infrastructure level surveillance, which is super scary. And the reason I wanted to point this out is because this is basically the opposite or the inverse of what Nym is trying to do, if you think about it. Because what we do is we anonymize your traffic on the level of the infrastructure, while basically these companies are trying to put unique identifiers on your traffic, identify that this traffic on the level of the infrastructure belongs to you, which is super scary. Hopefully, there's an obvious winner in this situation, and hopefully it's going to be us. And yeah, you're all here to help us with that project, which is super great. Moving on to our next item on our agenda. Just like last week, I don't know how many people, I see a few familiar names, but not everybody was here last week. So I'm gonna repeat this real quick, that we're going to be bringing a mixed node operator on to the show every week because well, just like with our Twitter threads that we're posting to spotlight mixed nodes, we want to highlight the fact that behind every mixed node there's a person, there's a story, there's a cool guy, and Nym is just an idea on paper or basically a framework without you guys, and the infrastructure itself, the metal, so to say, of the infrastructure is run on individual mixed nodes all around the planet. So we're super grateful for you guys for doing that and for running our infrastructure. And to celebrate that, we're gonna bring on a mixed node operator every week to just discuss everything related to Nym, but mostly their mixed node, how they found out about Nym, and what they like about our project, and some other good stuff like that. So in that spirit, we already have our mixed node operator for this week on the call. So Elturco, say hi to everybody. Welcome.
Hi everyone, nice to be here.
Oh, I would be lying if I said this is the first time we're talking. We talk quite often. You've been an OG, basically an OG of this project for quite some time. So tell us about that. How did it all start? How did you find out about Nym?
Hi everyone again. This is Elturco. I am from Turkey. Actually, I meet with the blockchain in 2017. You know, these times Bitcoin is start to go up, and everyone try to trade the Bitcoin, and I was one of them, and actually I made a lot of money at that time. But when price go down, everything is changed, and I start to find the new areas to actually make money, and testnet was one of them. And I realized that in the Turkey, especially in the Turkey, people didn't know anything about blockchain, because people only trade, buy and sell their tokens, but they never interested with infrastructure of blockchain. So I dedicate myself to this area and start to Testnetrun blockchain group. And after we created this group, you can we teach almost 10,000 people to Ubuntu blockchain how to create a node, how you can create your node and run your node, some kind of the stuffs. And we are still doing this job, and we are now more than 6,000 people, and we are glad to be also part of Nym project.
Okay, hey, thanks. That's super interesting. So, like you said, 6,000 users. Is that what I Did I hear it correctly?
Yes, we have 6,000 people in Twitter, more than 5,000 people in YouTube, and more than 4,000 in Telegram. And do you know started because we started to interest this area in last year, and
Yeah.
we just only 30 people in the beginning.
Really?
And
So
when
from
people,
last year?
yeah,
So within like 1 year, 12 months, you managed to grow your community from like 30 people to about 6,000. That's quite
yes.
impressive, my friend.
Yes, this is how we create, because this is all the thanks to YouTube actually, because you know, people is very scared when time come to development, because people are thinking that join the testnet or join projects is so difficult, but we made a lot of videos to people that you don't need to scale anything of this, because it's really easy to join. It's really easy to understand infrastructure. Sorry, I can't tell this.
All right, that sounds good.
Yes,
So
and I can say thanks to these videos, 6,000 people joined our community, because people want to see what they are doing, because they don't, you can send some people some documentation, but you should also show them how to do it. And when people trying to, for example, we can say that Nym testnet, for example, people in the beginning scared, and they think that we can join this testnet because we never opened Ubuntu OS, or we never they even didn't know about Ubuntu. There is some kind of system, but when we show them that this is so easy, you can just start your node and you can be part of this project, and they understood that this is really easy, and so they joined our community.
all right, so before we move on to the next question, like what are the videos exactly? Like what is it about exactly? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, we start to teach them, for example, how you can open a server, VPS server. This was the first step. And second, how you can, sorry, for example, how you can send some transactions, how you can, for example, copy, delete, because you know everyone knows Windows system. Just they are right clicking and copying and pasting. But this is so different in the Ubuntu system. So we start to teach them base of Ubuntu and basic of Ubuntu, and they start to understand. And when they try their own, and because they are watching and doing at the same time, and they are seeing that this is really easy, and not there is nothing to be scared of. So they start to run their nodes and join the testers. Now we have more than 1,000 people in our Turkish community, and they all joined this community and started their nodes thanks to Testnetrun in Turkey.
All right. Okay. Thanks. That's very interesting.
And what are your long-term plans with Nym, and how does it fit into your? So what other projects are you supporting, and how does Nym fit into your portfolio?
Yeah, before the start, that I should say something about testnet and Testnetrun, and after I will go on. For example, we have joined a lot of testnets before the Nym, and we failed actually, because some of these projects was long-term projects, and most of them clean from the system, blockchain system, we can say. So as a testnet, we decided that we should have some criteria for to join the projects, and we said that we need some criteria. And first criteria was the project we are joining should have a real team, right? Because if a team will be not visible to community, it means that it should be some kind of scam project, and we don't want to meet that project with our Turkish community. And second was that project has to reliable investors in the market. And third was that project should be bring some new thing to blockchain area. And fourth was they have a public testnet, because without a community, a project can't stand. So
Sorry, what was the third one? They bring
third,
something new to the they bring something new to the blockchain.
blockchain area, yes. And the Nym project was Nym project had all of these criteria, so we decided to join Nym project, and we are almost year in this project, and we created their Turkish community last year, and since then we never stopped this project, because we know that this is a long-term project, and it will be valuable in the future, because you know that now privacy is really important for people, but people is know that actually that their privacy is really important for them, but they can't do nothing, because you know everyone now using Facebook, Google, Twitter, and other applications, and they know that the government and other third part firms following them, watching them, and making, especially making money for them. For example, I checked some search and find out that, for example, last in the 2019, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Apple made $900 billion from people's data. And they are collecting our data and selling our data, and name it totally preventing.
That's billion with a B, right? 900 billion.
Yes, billion.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
billion.
that's big bucks, right?
Yeah, especially, and they are making money, and they're not seeing us as a human being. They are seeing as a data searches, right? We are not human for them, because they know they are offering us some free applications. We are using them, but we are not realize that how they are using this applications. We don't know that, but Nym totally prevent all this data leaks and keeping our privacy, and so this is, I believe that this is revolutionary, and in the future people will know a lot of about the Nym, because everyone loves their privacy, and they will know some days. Everyone knows Nym projects one day.
Definitely, more and more people are waking up to the issues. We still hear when we talk about privacy with normies, so to say, quote unquote. We still hear the argument, that I have nothing to hide. So why would I care about all these companies who are giving me all of these free services, gathering my data? But it's really not that simple. What's your take on that? What do you say to these people? Do you have a pre-cooked response to the people who say that I have nothing to hide?
I have a lot of things to hide. Why should I share my privacy to everyone? I have a lot of things to hide. Some things I have never someone. I just keep my phone, but people, companies know that, but other people don't know this. So I have a lot of things to hide, and everyone has a lot of things to hide, because they are, for example, taking pictures, or talking with someone, or sending some data to another one, and they want to keep this private, because if everything was clear and no one talk with anyone, or every relationship, or every for example, every just a second.
Yeah, Yeah, that's true.
Every trade was blown up because privacy is one of our life basements. Yeah, I can say. I can a lot of things to hide and everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Like I agree. Like you guys, I've also heard many people in my life, like we call them normies maybe, but I've heard many people in my life like saying like, "Hey, I don't have anything to hide. You know, fuck privacy." They didn't say fuck privacy outright. Excuse my language, but you know what I mean. Like they weren't really serious about it, and uh, like as I started diving more deep like into this project and thinking more about my own personal experiences in the past with privacy and stuff like and things I've read online, it's really worrying like the way we as a society like uh, we allow these companies and also governments to just intrude like in our private life, uh, and like they do it by providing us services and stuff, right? So, for example, everyone has something to hide because let's say you live in an area where there's like a civil war or something, or maybe you live in a place where your sexuality isn't maybe like uh, approved by the norm by the society you live in, like the country. Then the things you do online, like governments, companies, people you know, that they could sometimes too easily find out like what you're doing, and that could have significant consequences to like your personal happiness and life. So like I really made it a thing for myself to like keep explaining people like my friends, um of just saying like, hey, you do have something to hide. So I just wanted to add it on. Yeah, thought it was really interesting what you said.
Yes, actually, and not only companies or firms. Also, there are malicious people who are trying to hack our accounts, or we every day facing with hackers, and they are blowing up our wallets because it is really easy now. For example, I am running a community in Turkey, and people every day is sending me some picture of their notes, or I don't know, some pictures. They are just only sending some pictures, but I can't be sure that none of them has some malicious links, because you know that you can now send someone a picture, and when you click that picture, they are finding your IP address, and if someone find your IP address, this guy is use this IP address for their own malicious intentions. So privacy is need everyone, and many people not aware of it, unfortunately.
Not only that, but another aspect of all this, when you said those companies, you listed Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook, and Microsoft, I think, making $900 billion a year on ads, which is basically harvesting data and then targeting people with targeted ads based on that data. That is in that realm, the currency is not the data itself. It's not the picture that you send. It's not the message that you send. It's the metadata. It's the fact that you sent me that picture at that given time. And you usually send that. You usually send me messages at around that time, and you send this other person messages at that other time. And when you have billions upon billions upon billions of data points like that, and you unleash an AI on it, then you can start literally mining people, mining societies for as a resource to extract money from them, extract their behavior. Basically, this is what in the age of surveillance capitalism, it's referred to as behavioral surplus. That's what they are extracting. So that's the other aspect of it. But let's transition a little bit into your mix node and how you're
Yeah.
running it. What sort of precautions you take to have a high uptime, and how do you make sure that your network is stable and and your performance metrics are good.
Yeah, of course. We are supporting Nym project from the beginning, and our community members also. And we are running a mixed node in the mainnet, and we put our nodes on high quality VPS servers, dedicated servers, and we are watching this service 724. We are using for it Grafana, Grafana and Prometheus because it's free and really effective. And if your node has some trouble, it's sending you email, SMS, whatever you want, and in our world, there are a lot of applications to monitor your node, and they are very effective, and we are using all of them.
That's great stuff. That's great to hear. So you probably know what you're doing since you've been around for so long and you've been running a node for so long. So
Yeah.
I'll ask you this question, okay? Let's say I have 5,000 Nym, okay, and I'm looking to delegate my tokens to a node, and you have I don't know 3 sentences to convince me. Why should I delegate to you as opposed to Ismael, who also has a really great node?
Yes, of course, not only me, but this is for everyone, right? If you want to find a node not to people want your node, there should be some criteria for people. First of all, I am looking that which I am bonding my nodes. They have website, for example, or they have a community, because we believe that we created a Testnetrun community a year ago, and since then we never left this market because people can reach us every day and in every platform, from Twitter, from Telegram, and we are really easy to reach out. So I am looking first because people sometimes writing in their notes that we are working in this company or not, or this place. You should check first this person who running this node is real or not. Second, this node they should convince you that this node will run long term, not short term, because there are some peoples coming and disappearing in this blockchain area. And the third one is you should be sure that they know what they are doing, because we are not only running a mixed node, we are also running other projects. So we know when in our nodes happening some problems, we are solving this in a minute. So we know what we are doing.
In summary, what you're telling me is that you're a human, right? And not a bot. And also that I believe you. Okay, you know what? I believe you. I'll grant you that. And you're
Yeah.
also telling me that you're here for the long run, and you're aiming to be a
Yeah. If you check our node, for example, we have more than 2040 delegators only in one node. And why these people? You should ask yourself why these people bonded their nodes to our node, because we are almost a year, more than a year in the Nym project, and we helped people to join the testnet and know the Nym project, about Nym project, and people know that because people. I'm talking especially in the Turkey, because people know that we help them every day. Sometimes 3 o'clock in the midnight, people wrote me and asked me, I have a problem, how can I solve this? And all of these people, actually most of these people in the Turkey open a new group and start their own channels, because we help them, and they support us, and they know we are never offering them some malicious project, because they know that Testnetrun has their own creator, and never bring them some kind of spam project.
Yeah, and basically, well, you're really important parts of our Turkish community as well. So if anybody here is Turkish speaking, then make sure to join our Turkish channel, and then you can get to hang out with Elturco. Where else can people find you, by the way, Elturco, and Testnetrun?
In Testnetrun, actually, we are running 16 different blockchain projects, and they can find every one of them also in Nym Turkish channel, in Nym, or in another project.
So as a quick note to our mixed node operators or aspiring mixed node operators, maybe.
Yeah, of course. For example, we are running in another blockchain projects, just like Sere or Elmos. I don't know, another a lot of projects. So it's most of, especially Turkish community, know us, because we are first and only Testnetrun project in Turkey.
So as a note to our mixed node operators, or maybe aspiring mixed node operators, it's you have a head start to do something like Elturco is doing, or Evgeny's group is doing, because how our incentive structure is set up is that it really favors behavior like this. So if you're active in our community and people know you, then you're going to attract delegations, which will mean that both your delegators and yourself will receive higher rewards. So this is no accident. This is how the Nym incentive structure was built, and especially to encourage well, first of all, this sort of community behavior where people are active and helpful members of this community, and also the trust that is based on that is rewarded by our incentive mechanism. So for our early node operators, you have a huge head start if you look into the future on maybe a 5-year time scale, and you imagine someone joining in 5 years, and you've been in this community for 5 years, providing help for people with all sorts of things, participating in our local and global communities, and getting recognition. You will have a massive head start, and this is how the system is designed to be. So this is just an inspiration for everybody who's an aspiring mixed node operator. Well, Elturco, thank you. It was great talking to you, man. And
it was really nice to be here, and thank you for inviting.
Yeah, anytime, man. And well, thanks for all that you've done for the community, and yeah, and hope to see you in the chats all the time, like always, right?
Yeah, totally.
All right, and now on to Evgeny, our next guest. How's it going, sir?
Doing great, and thanks for having me in this call this week.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
So
I think I'll just go through the stats real quick on the delegation program we run, and so far we have almost 1,500 submissions in the program, and number is still growing. So if you didn't apply yet, don't put it in the long term. Do it right now, because
what is the deadline for applications, by the way?
Yeah, the deadline will be on Tuesday around 8 a.m. UTC, I think. But yeah, don't wait till the very end. Do it right now. Have your weekend to check the program, check the form, and get your submission ready. And yeah,
can I stop you for a second? Can we recap for those that couldn't attend last week, because we couldn't make a recording, unfortunately, because Craig, our recording bot, decided not to help us last week. Can we recap what the aim of the delegations program is? Like, what are you targeting? What sort of What sort of node operators do you want to see in your program, and who should apply for it?
Surely. So Mixnet, well, everyone here is kind of crypto-oriented, biased, some geeks probably, and more than that, people who run mixed nodes are probably familiar with how blockchain works, with how validators work, etc., etc. And what's important to emphasize here is that Mixnet is a different beast. It has different rules, and most important ones are we have much more nodes in this network in order for it to have parameters which are likely to be achieved, such as bandwidth capacity for users, the security in terms of de-anonymizing traffic and users. So in comparison to regular blockchain where you have 100 validators, here in the Mixnet, you want hundreds of mixed nodes. And that's a big difference. If you think about it a little bit deeper, the stake distribution from a regular blockchain, you want to distribute the same amount, roughly, let's say, onto much bigger number of mixed nodes. That's the one part. The second part is mixed nodes are not doing any consensus job or producing blocks or whatever. So we just want these mixed nodes to have some reputation equal to the amount of tokens staked to the operator, let's say. And the design of the mixnet is that it works better if you have more mixed nodes of roughly the same token staked than if you have what we have now. Stake concentrated on the top, and on the bottom we have 100 of really low stake nodes, which puts security at risk.
What happens when this is the case? So how does that affect the oversaturated nodes and the delegators on those nodes, and how does it affect the low saturation nodes, and also how does it affect the network overall, the performance and also anonymity?
Yeah. So let's start from the bottom. What's the downside of having too many low stake nodes? What it means is that in order to join the active set, in order to run your mixed node, or maybe if you're a malicious actor and you want to run 100 nodes, you'll have much less of a threshold, much less of a price to do this and to control basically much bigger portion of the traffic in the mixnet, and to de-anonymize much more users and their packets. And that's what this reward mechanism is trying to fight. It tries to create this threshold, to create this, let's say, obstacle in the amount of money you want to spend in order to attack this network, to attack the anonymity. So if you're keen to the project and you support privacy, you should not be doing what the majority of people doing in the network right now, is delegating to number one node. And unfortunately, the stake is only growing and every day. So let's get to the second part, what happens to those who are delegating to oversaturated nodes. First of all, what's stake saturation? Stake saturation is the number which is, if to be explained roughly, it's the number which is produced by dividing all the tokens we have now, everything which is already distributed and in hands of token holders, and divided by number of mixed nodes. So we have roughly 100 million Nym in the network, which can be staked potentially. and it's
Why
divided.
is it 100 million and not 1 billion? Because that's going to be our total stake supply, right? 1 billion tokens. That's our supply. So how is it 100 million right now? I'm just asking so that maybe people who are not familiar with these things also understand
Sure.
and can follow.
Yeah, it's a really good question. Like, why 100 million? So, 100 million is the tokens which are both locked and unlocked, which were distributed to public sale participants, testnet participants, and some of the smaller investors. And that's why this number is not 1 billion is if we set this parameter as 1 billion, the mathematics, the reward mechanism will work incorrectly, because the important parameter we are looking for is how much of the tokens, of the available tokens, are staked into the system. And this parameter actually is responsible behind the APR, the magic number people are looking for. And so yeah, and coming from this point, from this idea, when we have more unlocks in the system, the stake saturation will grow as well accordingly, and the APR will be, I think, dropping a little bit, but like that's the idea. So coming back like to the most important part, staking to the oversaturated nodes make you lose rewards and not gain. So like imagine you are delegating to some node which is getting into active set like half of the time. Let's say one day it's active, one day it's inactive on the statistics. And this will be equal as to delegating to the mix node, which has 200% saturation. Because once mix node is saturated, its rewards are not growing, let's say, anymore. So mix node and all its delegators are getting only as much as it would be having at 100% saturation. And simple example, like top one mix node, which is Nodes.Guru, I think effective APR of people delegating to that mix node is 4 times roughly less than if it was, I don't know, Testnetrun node at this moment. So stake saturation is a very important parameter for everyone trying to increase their stake and to get some rewards. That's like, let's say, egoistic part. And if you are keen to the project and want to support it, you should be really like doing selection in the bottom set of the mix nodes and looking for smaller mix nodes to support the security, to increase the privacy part.
Just to add in a bit more detail. So what also happens when you as a delegator delegate your Nym tokens to an oversaturated node is that since the amount of rewards is maximized at the saturation point, so that's the point of the or that's the whole meaning of the saturation point, that rewards, like total amount of rewards possible, don't scale up from that point onwards. Basically, what happens is that more and more tokens are staked on a node, and the amount of rewards that are being shared among those tokens is the same. So basically, if you delegate your tokens to a mixed node that is 300% oversaturated, then your rewards are going to drop to 30%. This is of course napkin math, and it's probably inaccurate, but that's sort of the idea. Now, now that we have these basics sort of covered, how does this all tie into your delegations program? So what do you want to achieve with it, and how does it tie into the whole current situation of many oversaturated, or like a few oversaturated mixed nodes and many low saturated mixed nodes? Who are you trying to help here, and for what purpose?
Yep. So like the main concern of delegators and those who want to support projects but maybe don't want to be active like every week and check all the updates. You just want to do some good job and go, I don't know, have fun time, etc. They want to delegate to some, as Elturco said in his presentation, to some trusted mix node and forget about it. And
set and forget, right? That's what people are looking for, and that's how most other projects work. If you look at the nodes or validators with the highest stake on them, then you can usually trust those nodes being trustworthy and just good targets for your stakes, and then you can just set and forget. Now, Nym is a bit different from that, right?
Exactly, but like people's behavior like that is not necessarily a bad thing. Like that's totally understandable. That's good that they decide to participate in staking, support ecosystem, etc. And like we can understand that you don't want to put your money into some activity called mixnet and later investigate that you were not getting rewards for the whole month just because your mix node you delegate to went offline, etc., etc. That's totally understandable. So coming to delegation program, we hope like we could run, I don't know, 20 more mix nodes and put security at risk, but we've decided to go another way and create delegation program in order to select some, I don't know, smaller mix node operators, maybe some people who are in the Nym for a year and for a long time, maybe some experienced people from other projects, but not necessarily like big companies. And
companies are not really welcome, right? You're not aiming to help big companies because they already have the funds and the community to attract delegators. So from what I gather, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I gather, this program is mostly for the small guy.
Yeah, that's the aim. We'll go through the submissions and see like what we have there, what the quality of submissions, etc. And I can't say for sure what will be the results. They will come next week, by the end of next week. But overall, the idea is to support smaller guys, those who were like active. We know they are here for a long time and will not disappear. So we can put trust and risk our own money stake into them, not get cut. And as well, like as a result of this, people will see more trusted nodes where they can delegate to. And maybe by the end of, let's say, first period of program, these nodes will collect enough stake to stay active and big without our delegation. So that's like basically a bootstrapping, like a helping hand on collect trust and stake. And I think this will help smoothen the distribution and as a side product, increase security.
That's right. That's right. So what else? You have some secondary goals as well, right? So so what's to happen with the motivation of these people who are getting delegations? But since delegations are unless you have money to throw around, they are pretty critical for being able to get higher rewards. So as all of that stake is currently sitting on, which we're working on changing, but currently a lot of stake is sitting on those few oversaturated mixed nodes. So this will also, I would assume, motivate people to keep running their mixed nodes on the network until this situation is figured out. Am I right about that?
Basically, yes. Like currently, if you only run your mix node with your tokens you own, or maybe you bought on the market, and you are not getting like rewards enough to keep you interested in running it, well, what else should you do? Like you can stop and forget and delegate somewhere and go to another project maybe. But having delegation and accumulating more stake from the community will put you in a spot where you first have more income, so basically interest, and to cover your costs and maybe cover your time spending on the updates and monitoring, etc. Secondly, like it will put you in some position of responsibility maybe, which will keep you motivated to keep running Mixnode and enhance privacy in our world. That's the goal and the idea, and hopefully it works out well. We'll see. But yeah, another point is for people deciding to delegate to Mixnodes who participate in our program is we'll be keeping an eye on these Mixnodes and the participants and tracking them, and this will be like another helping hand to keep your assets at less risk of losing rewards, and it will be more comfortable for the community to delegate there probably, and to know that there's assets are safe.
Yeah, and to flip all of that around, just I don't know how many people here in the audience have actually applied to the program. If you did, share with us in the chat. But this is also so if I was a mixed node operator who applied for this program and got delegations through this delegations program, I would definitely make sure to shout it in the community and include it on the description of my mixed node. Sort of like a badge of trust, because what Nodes.Guru is going to be doing as really experienced people with a bunch of different blockchains, including ours, is that they're going to evaluate the performance and reliability and all sorts of other factors of these mixed nodes that they're delegating to, and the fact that you got that delegation from them is also this badge of honor and sort of a badge of performance and a badge of reliability. So just a hint for anybody who applied and got delegations through the program, make sure to shout it, wherever you can, and also make sure to maintain it, because Evgeny, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, it is going to be checked from time to time that you still meet the requirements that you guys initially set. So it's not going to be just meeting those requirements once and then receiving delegations and then forgetting about it. But you're going to be also following up on the performance of mixed nodes and revoke delegations if necessary, right?
Yep, sure. We'll be tracking parameters. Most importantly, I think to build trust is the profit margin part. So, like popular, let's say, way to scam people is from less trusted operators is to play with your commissions. So in other networks, some malicious operators were doing this like before rewards distribution, right before the time the reward should be distributed, they were cranking up like commission rate to 100%. Then rewards were distributed, and then they changed it back to like, I don't know, low 5-10%. So people couldn't notice the change, but they were not getting rewards actually. And we want to avoid this in the mixnet. In the mixnet, you can't change profit margin too often. There are still ways to do it, but we'll be tracking that as well. So to first keep our funds safe and also to let people trust this mixed node more and be sure that you will not be cut low on your rewards. So basically, we'll be doing the audition part for you, for the community.
Right. Let's look at the questions. Did anybody share any questions, or are we doing such a good job that actually no questions can be asked? Because oh yeah, nice. Whisper it applied. Hopefully you're getting it. I'm rooting for you, man. So anybody has a question for us, or Evgeny, or anybody else? Actually, who else? Only we're on this call. So anybody on the call, preferably. Or Evgeny, is there anything else you would want to share with us when it comes to the delegations program?
Yeah, let me think. I think we could get some questions about the requirement to create a GitHub repository. And yeah, the answer is that's for checking your access to the GitHub you share. Nothing special. You don't need to be a developer to do that part. Also, people were asking about like self bond requirement. Yes, you should have specifically the self bond, not the total stake, not the delegation to your mix node, but exactly like the bond amount you put in the bond form when you do it from the wallet or other way. So that's important. I mean, like if it's something like, I don't know, 999 or 900, maybe it will be enough. It's not like set in stone to be exactly 1000, but you get the idea. So it should be something high. Same goes for like 1 month requirement. If it's like active for 3-4 weeks, but you are an active community member and been here for quite a while, I think it also could play. So yeah, everything is flexible. We'll be looking through all the submissions individually, case by case, and trying our best to pick some good submissions. And yes, we have like oversubscription by maybe a factor of 10 roughly. Yeah, don't be upset if you're not selected. We can please everyone. We have limited amount of resources to share, and maybe apply for the next time. And we'll be definitely keen to see you again in the submissions.
Yeah, actually, Noel asked a question just now as you were saying this. Like, they're asking how many people have already applied to this program if this is not a secret.
Yeah, as I shared earlier, it's around 100 and 100 and a half, so 150, which means like there are maybe 10 candidates per slot, roughly. Maybe we have some multiple submissions, people correcting data or whatsoever. But yeah, we'll be checking it once the submissions are over.
Do you have a target number of people that that can end up getting delegations? Do you have a ceiling maybe, or just a target?
Yeah, like for details of the program, we aim to have 15 participants probably. 5 will be like tier 1 getting 100k Nym delegated, and 10 participants having 50k Nym delegated. We'll see how it goes, what we have there. Maybe we have like 100 bots in the submission. I don't know. I didn't check. But yeah, we're flexible and we may adjust numbers.
Bots, man. We gotta love bots, right? It's it's a fact of reality in this space, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen. So sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like some people raise like privacy concerns, like why are we collecting data? It's a privacy network, and we collect data through the Google form, etc. That's like totally correct concerns, but it's not about like Mixnet. It's about delegation program and operators getting some support. And it could be ideal if in the world to have this anonymity and money in the same mix, but these two don't go along very well. We need to know each other, to trust each other. And when you attract reputation, you can't have reputation without having no reference or basically a little bit less anonymous in the community. And yeah, so I hope this answers the questions.
That's really, really well said, actually. We got to know each other. So that is, it's a bit ambivalent given the internet is sort of faceless, right? And these communities, like when I look at the audience, I see images of random things, maybe not even the actual people that I'm talking to. So that's the nature of the internet. But on the other hand, we have to be able to trust the people who are running Nym. So that's one of the core ideas that we need to ensure that the chances and also rewards and possibilities of malicious actors being successful to any degree on this network have to be minimized. And where we start is trust, basically, and also knowing each other. So that's really well said.
Thanks. And yeah, like I don't think we announced it maybe explicitly, but contract was upgraded and the new APR and increased rewards are already in place. So once again, like spread the word, check your delegations, and delegate from mixed nodes which are oversaturated. You are not only hurting your rewards, but you're also hurting everyone else's rewards in that mixed node.
The problem is, I think, the problem is that we're probably preaching to the choir here, because these people who are here probably understand it very well that this is the case. But rest assured, guys, we're taking steps to figure this out. The wallet, I believe, already shows a warning when you're about to delegate to an oversaturated mixed node. So that's a first step, and we're also going to do some other things to resolve this. And then the stake that is currently sitting on a few nodes and making them oversaturated and not helping anybody in the process is going to be spread out over most likely lower saturated mixed nodes. So it's just a matter of time. This is it's the beginnings. People have to learn how our system works. It's pretty complex, so let's give them some time, right?
Yeah, totally. Time will help and cure things and also increase the stake saturation point, which will make things a little bit less harmful for delegators. So
notes. I think we discussed everything, right? I'm just cautious of time because I know my attention span is about 7 to 9 seconds, 9 on a better day. So people are probably pretty tired from our voices. How tired are you guys? Is it still bearable, or do you still have any questions? Do you want to hear us talk about something? Because if not, and if Evgeny doesn't have anything else to say, then I'm waiting for. I don't see anybody typing.
I think it's important to say that Nym wallet has got upgrade and should be working. If you notice some latency with numbers being showed, just give it some time. Try again. Don't spam it. Most of the problems should be solved now, but yeah, we're aware there are some more issues to talk about, to work on. And yeah, just be patient. We're just starting and things will go better and better.
Keep reporting the bugs that you run into, and also if you think of any features that you would like to see, we would also like to hear about that. So we have the products text channel here on Discord, so you can that's probably the best place to request features and report bugs and stuff like that. But you can also just use our Telegram or any other of our channels, and then we'll talk to the right people to forward your solution or your suggestions. Evgeny, once again, I can't thank you enough for doing this for the community. I think it is going to be great, and also it is targeting the exact right thing that needs to happen and targeting it in a really smart way. So it is absolutely great stuff. I can't wait to see the results of the delegations program. So if anybody here was thinking about applying for it, but was not yet sure, please go ahead and do so. And I guess, Evgeny, people can reach out to you if they have any questions, right? Here on Discord or maybe on Telegram.
Sure, yeah, just drop me a message and I'll try to reach out and cover your questions.
So once again, though, the deadline is when? For applications?
Sorry?
The deadline is when, once again, for applications?
Yeah, so the deadline is 28th of June, 8 a.m. UTC in the morning. So basically Tuesday morning for the European part of the world, and it will be some kind of midnight for American part.
I'll make it quick. In summary, make it quick, ladies and gentlemen. Apply,
Yeah, like-
apply.
There are not too many submissions. Let's say it's not thousands. It's still quite a lot, but yeah, if you want to have a chance, do it now.
On that note, I think I'm going to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you for attending our community call. We are trying to make these as good as possible. So if you have any suggestions, anything you would like to hear about, for example, this time I brought you some privacy related news that are not Nym specific. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, then definitely let us know. I'm going to leave the community call text channel open for, let's say, like 1 or 2 more days, so that if you have any suggestions, then you can post them. And yeah, the call was recorded this time for real. So actually, we're using 2 different bots to record at the same time, and also Gustavo, my dear Spanish-speaking community manager, is also screen grabbing. So if the recording did not happen this time, then I just give up. Also, I give up life, and I will just go and die in a cave or something. So yeah, the recording will be shared this time for real. And many thanks everybody for joining us, and have a great weekend. Thanks everybody.
Thank you everyone,
Have a nice day,
and
everyone. Ciao, ciao.
make sure to attend calls like every week. We're trying to make them regular. They are regular by default. So unless announced, Friday is the call for the Nym. Bye everyone.
Take care everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.